of you.
Is not happy about tomorrow.
Tomorrow is when people resume together. She better be happy.
I am excited. I'm over the moon.
She better be happy. You better be
I tweeted it
happy.
yesterday. Part of the reason why I tweeted it was, you know, when things are planned
Yeah,
to
she wanted
happen
her own
and
one
then they can
week.
change it.
They should have allowed her to stay her own 1 week.
Next week, Monday to Wednesday, should be off again. This guy
We will be washing you. We will wash you.
Good morning, and thank you so much for being there. We appreciate you. You're listening and tuned in to Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. My name is Valentine Ohu, your host, and I'm joined by Tega. Hi, Tega Supreme, Tega Nojaife, Tega the fighter,
You
Tega the
should
tiger.
be. I'm not the fighter. Bring flowers for me. Good morning, everybody.
Take a flowers.
Please tell Valentine to be bringing flowers.
All right, I'll try. They just don't open early.
Good morning, everybody. So,
So,
I remember locker room and England prediction. We're going to talk about England today.
yeah.
So whether we have pies in our faces or we want to say I told you so. I don't think many people on this show can say I told you so because I remember all your tweets and your messages. But we'll be talking about England when we get there. But first,
Yes, please. Let's start with this. First, you need to watch on YouTube, all right? So you can see Tega's beautiful colors that she's adorned for this morning. It's youtube.com/Smooth FM Lagos. So just type Smooth FM Lagos in the search box, Smooth 98.1. You can also send messages to WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981. The Milwaukee Bucks had a prime opportunity to take control of their series against the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday night as Trae Young was sidelined with a bone bruise in his foot. Instead, the Bucks fell behind early and then stood no chance once Giannis Antetokounmpo was ruled out after hyperextending his knee as the Hawks cruised to a 110-88 victory. With the win, the Hawks have tied the series as things shift back to Milwaukee for Game 5.
yes, so huge one. The Atlanta Hawks were without Trae Young, their star player so far in the playoffs. And he had the bone bruise, so he was out. And ideally, it just looked like the momentum had swung in favor of Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks because they were the guys now with everybody available to them, and Atlanta Hawks were the hardworking team with their star player out. Shocker. The first quarter was when Atlanta Hawks decided to show us that they are not here to play. Lou Williams stepped in. Lou Williams is a veteran anyway. He was with the LA Clippers, if in case you do not remember him, but now he's with the Atlanta Hawks. He stepped in for Trae Young, and from the jump off, Atlanta Hawks made a statement that look, we are not going to sit back and let anybody overrun us. They led by as much as I think 8 points at some point in time, and then Milwaukee Bucks had a 14-4 run and took the lead briefly, but Atlanta Hawks came back and it was the way they were playing their possession. They were killing Milwaukee Bucks from the perimeter. Those threes that they kept knocking down, especially from Bogdanovic, I mean, it was amazing. He had 20 points at least to the beginning of the third quarter. 18 of those points were threes. And for the life of Milwaukee Bucks, not Chris Middleton, not PJ Tucker, not Drew Holiday, they were struggling to hit the threes. And so Atlanta Hawks just kept knocking it down. And unfortunately, to make matters worse for the Bucks, Antetokounmpo came into the game in the third quarter. It seems that he was going to try and rally the troops. Then he extended the knee. I saw 3 knee injuries yesterday, and I was horrified. I think I need therapy. His knee went back. Like when he landed on the foot, his leg. It was done. He didn't need to scream. I felt the pain in my bones. And so we don't know how he walked off the court. I mean, he was helped off the court, but he walked off the court halfway. And so he came back briefly, but I think his team knew that he was not going to play, but he went back into the locker room. So I don't know if it's going to be available for the next game. But what it is that a short-handed Atlanta Hawks was able to defeat Milwaukee Bucks with their star player before he was injured. So it will give the Atlanta Hawks hopes that maybe this series they are definitely going to take it because of the way they ran out the box. For the Bucks to really poor night on the shooting. They were shooting 32% from in their field goals, and from the free throw line, oh god, it was horrible. Before Yanis got injured and was taken off, he was almost looking like a hack a Yanis because he struggles with his three throws. So he gets to the line and the crowd will start counting for him. So ideally,
so that how is that not distracting to him?
oh,
That's
ideally,
the
you're
question.
supposed to look. You're supposed to block it out. And the reason they start counting for him is this: normally, you're not supposed to take more than 10 seconds before you
Oh
take
my
the shot.
goodness.
And Yanis used to dress it. He will cook jollof on top of the something, cook a goosey before he will now knock down the shot. So the crowd started taking note of it, and then they started counting down for him. So it has now made his shooting even worse. Yesterday, he airballed through free. How do you airball a free throw? And he airballed two. So he has to now learn how to block out the crowd because he has made it worse for himself. That's if he comes back. The first thing we want to know though is what the medical report says for him, because of that knee injury he picked up. But it's looking really good for the Atlanta Hawks now. Really, really good.
For Yanis, I would say, I'm only human.
Ah.
After all. But anyway, let's go to the next story. Now, American legend Serena Williams dreams of winning an eighth Wimbledon singles title and equaling Margaret Court's Grand Slam record of 24 ended in tears on Tuesday. The 39-year-old was leading 3-1 in the first set of her first round match against Alexandra Sasnovich of Belarus when she slipped and had to have an off-court medical attention. She returned but called it quits at 3-3 and walked off center court in tears. Earlier, Swiss legend Roger Federer and Australia's world number one Ashley Barty both progressed, but only after overcoming scares.
Okay, so let's start with Ashley Barty. She came back onto grass. I would say again, Wimbledon has also not been one of her high performing tournaments. She's only gone as far as the fourth round here ever. But she's the world number one ranked player. So when she's on court, regardless of her record on Wimbledon, you should always expect to be beaten. But she came against a Carla Suarez Navarro who beat cancer this year. Yes, she was out for cancer treatment. She came back. So really strong lady. She came back on court, and this was supposed to be her last Wimbledon, and she put her back into it literally because Ashley Barty ran out with the first set 6-1, and then the second set, Ashley Barty even served for the match, but Carla broke her. And then set for they went into tiebreak, and then she completely dominated the tiebreak and took out Ashley Barty. So it was in the third set that Ashley Barty found her rhythm, and was able to defeat Carla. So that was it for Carla. So thank you, Carla. We've seen you at Wimbledon. I know we're going to see her at other tournaments till the end of the season, and then I can give her tribute then. But really great for her coming back from cancer. At the French Open, she lost that match to Sloane Stephens, and now she's lost to Ashley Barty. But Ashley Barty is through to the next round. Then Roger Federer stepped up. Now this was the second knee injury. So the knee injuries I saw was across basketball, tennis, and football. So it's not like it's one sport. This was the one. Adrian Manarino was playing against Roger Federer, and he was schooling Roger Federer. Second and third set, it was shocking the way he was defeating Roger Federer. But fourth set, Roger Federer came in, got an early break, and looked like he was going to be cruising through. To make matters worse, Manarino now slipped on the court. Now he slipped and he extended it. Oh, it was a horrible one. From the minute his knee bent and he fell on the floor, I knew he shouldn't carry on. But again, they always want to soldier on, and I don't know why. Anyway, but he tried to play. The knee couldn't hold him up, and so he left. Now that same spot on that same court is where Serena slipped and twisted her ankle and made her not to complete this match. So Andy Murray was now saying that the center court is slippery, and especially with the rains coming in, it makes it a little harder to play on. So yes, the court is slippery because even when Nick Kyrgios was playing later on, he also slipped on the court, but no serious damage. So it's something, I guess, it's Wimbledon. And I think the way Roger Federer put it is, it just shows that one shot can change your entire
Career.
match. And so that's exactly what happened, because Manarino slipped at that spot. Couldn't complete the match, and so Federer moved through. And then Serena comes in, and she had broken her opponent, and she looked like she was getting into rhythm. Then it was her turn to serve, and she slipped, and she twisted her ankle. And when she twisted her ankle, from the way she was not able to even walk well on it or try to put any weight on it, you could tell that she couldn't continue. But again, like I said, she tried to soldier on.
Spirit of
At 3-3, she just had to give up and go. So sad one for Serena Williams with the injury. We hope she's able to recover and get back. But that, I mean, people are going to be looking at that center court now and be a little tricky. We pray for sun. We pray for some sun.
If
today.
anybody gets close, no.
Sun today.
I know what you did to the last. I'm not about to come
I'm
close
not about to end my career.
But anyway, England's remaining rivals at the European Championship will consider them a dangerous side after they beat Germany 2-0 to reach the quarterfinals, according to Captain Harry Kane. Any team will look at us and know that we're dangerous, is what he bragged. There isn't anything bigger than this when the expectation is on and we've delivered, and so we should be proud. But we can't stop here. Hopefully, we'll get back here in the semi-finals and the final.
Okay, if they're being honest, I think most of the expectation that was on this match was because Germany is Germany. But if you're looking at the form in the past year and a half, and even coming into the Euros, Germany wasn't the most threatening team. However, they did something astonishing, and they whooped Portugal. And because they gave Portugal a whooping, everybody returned the Germans to being the German machine. They forgot that they were being coached by a man that likes to scratch and sniff or chew his boogie, whatever he does. Ew. Oh yeah, he's disgusting. The camera caught him yesterday. Yeah, no, I just painted a picture in your head, right? You can imagine watching it live. Yeah. So we forgot he was coached by Joachim Low, who has struggled tactically with the team. Even again yesterday, you're playing against England at Wimbledon. And I know that you may want to switch things up if they're going to bring positive change, and maybe because of injuries. But Gosens, that what we heard was struggling with his fitness, started. Rudiger, that we also heard was struggling with his fitness, started. For the life of me, I don't know why Timo Werner started. I'm still asking I guess Joachim Low will tell me the day I meet him, but I don't know why, because that was not the day to change it up. And Timo Werner had one or two looks at the goalkeeper, and like he's done for his club in the past season, he didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So again, I'm not saying that if he did score an early goal, England couldn't have come back, but it may have changed the look of it. Because I tell you this, if Thomas Muller had scored that opportunity he had when England was just one goal up, I don't think England would have won the game, because then momentum would have switched. But he didn't. He missed the opportunity. And England, who had managed the game so far, they were not the most brilliant, at least until when Jack Grealish came on for Bukayo Saka. That's when we really saw the creativity come out, and that's when they got their goals. But they managed the game well. That I will give to them. And because of that, they're saying they're dangerous. So this is why we are opening the phone lines. Having seen England now, some people actually said England will not go past knockout stage. I saw that tweet here. I want you to call back. We are all eating humble pie for the English today. So call back and let's talk about the England-Germany match. I want you to break it down for us. What realistically are England's chances at the Euros now?
The number to call after this short break is 0144899981. You're listening to The Locker Room.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why my nose is really... I'm not trying to act up. I should be a vixen.
Hey, what? Vixen? Of course. All those gospel musicians. You know that one that they're shooting you on green screen and they put you on top of a mountain with grass in the background.
we back already?
No.
Okay.
Let's get it going.
We'll come back with this
This is
message
for the
Yeah.
lovers of
from
Smooth
Ronson Up.
98.1 as we make new changes to some
So
of
sorry,
the
people.
different programming on the
My nose
Smooth
is really
Man,
blocked.
people have been
that
complaining.
you'll
Though.
experience.
The locker room, they
From
like
the
to catch
1st
it
of
just
July
before they step into the
2021,
office.
Lagos Talks
But they,
now
I said,
every
use your
weekday from
headphones.
10
Listen.
a.m.
While you're stepping.
While the
It's
locker
going
room
to be.
brings you sporting
We'll
action
talk about
every
it.
Monday,
We'll talk about
Wednesday,
it.
and Friday from 9 a.m. And never miss your top trending stories and gossips on the grapevine every Tuesday and Thursday, also from 9 a.m. This is for more quality, great programming, and the best of radio experience. Only on Smooth
Let's go.
98.1.
Love music. Love life.
It's the Breakfast Crew, Ayo and Valentine.
Indeed it is.
Check your time. It's 29 minutes before 9 o'clock. You're listening to the Locker Room 981. The first half of that show is brought to you by Bet King. I'm here, Valentine Ohu, and of course, Tega Onojaife, Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
All right, let's take messages. WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981. Remember, you can call 01448991 to tell us.
Yes, let's talk about England. What are their chances? What do you think their chances are now, realistically? You know, before we were saying they'll be out in knockout stage. They're not going anywhere. They've gone somewhere now.
Bronson sent in this one on WhatsApp. Bronson says, "Good morning, guys. Is this Carla Suarez Navarro? Same old Navarro?"
Yes,
Okay.
the same one.
Emeka from Amor says, "What do we do?" He says, "From German machines to German Tokumbos. Oof, with no Mesut Ozil to blame, I wonder who will be the scapegoat for the Germans this
What can
time."
you do?
So lastly, I still don't get why Germany have to play all their group
England.
matches, or England rather, have to play all their group matches and elimination games in Wembley, while other countries have to travel. Not fair. Victor says, "Good morning, Valentega. In as much as England won against Germany, I still believe the English team will flop in their next match."
Oh, they play Ukraine next in Rome. So
All right, are you ready? Let's go. Good morning. Good morning to you. What's your name? Hey, Joe. Ilupeju. Oh, nice. Joe from Ilupeju, please go ahead.
keep small for me. True. True. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for that. We take more calls on 0144899181.
I would say this for Ryan Sterling, though. I'm really happy that he's the one scoring.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the locker room. Good morning. What's your name? Good
Morning.
Ronson, from where this morning? Welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Ronson. Thank you so much. We appreciate that one. Josh sent in a message here. It says, well, England will be playing Ukraine next. So reluctantly, I think they might still win that match. So I'll keep my fingers crossed until after the game. But wait, I still don't see them winning the tournament. So let's just say I don't want them to win. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning. Hello. Welcome to the locker room. What's your name? Cool. Good morning.
morning.
Did you say your name was Kule? Welcome, Kule. Please go ahead.
Jack Grealish.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kunle. I appreciate you. All right, let's get to the next stories. We have a few messages to go through, but we'll start with this one. Now, France coach Didier Deschamps says his team has shown weakness after the world champions threw away 2-goal lead and were eliminated from Euro 2020 after a penalty shootout loss to Switzerland in the last 16 on Monday. In his words, Deschamps expressed his sadness, his thoughts. We did what we needed to do in order to go 3-1 up, and then we showed weakness. Something unusual for us. Losing on penalties is always cruel for a team. He says Kylian Mbappe is incredibly sad, as are all the players, but nobody can be upset with him as he took on the responsibility of taking the fifth penalty.
Yeah, he took on the responsibility in a tournament that he hasn't really been prolific. But what can I say? If players will do what they need to do. Somebody must lose the penalty for somebody to go through. But I think for the French, it's exactly what I said it was. They have talent everywhere on the pitch, but no leadership, no discipline, no structure. I mean, they went 3-1 up, and I think they would have heard or seen the game that Spain had played earlier, where Spain also went 3-1 up and still ended up playing extra time. And you would think that that was the time to keep your shape, to keep your style. I think for me, what was more upsetting about the French is that they considered one type of goal twice in the same match. I haven't seen it in my life. The only difference between Seferovic's first header and second header was the stance of the goalkeeper. The first one, the goalkeeper made attempts. The second one, the goalkeeper didn't even see it. And that, for me, was a big issue. That the cross came in, the same defender the same striker coming in between two defenders and nodding the ball in the back of the net in the same match. And the goalkeeper and the defenders were not prepared. The minute you see Seferovic anywhere around your 18-yard box, just block every area threat coming in because he was going to get to it. And so defensively, they were struggling. They had no leadership, nobody picking up anybody. Varane was there doing the work of himself and Longley and the fullback just for good measure. And again, I knew they were short staffed coming in defensively into that game. I'd already said it earlier that with the Swedes running at them, with the pace they had in Mbolo, in Akanji, in Jordan Shaqiri, that it was always going to be a problem because they were light defensively. But if the midfield had helped to cover up, then they won't have had this problem. And so the French, for me, did not lose that match in the penalty shootout. They lost it in regulation time. And it is where I would agree with the Deschamps. They did show weaknesses, and the minute the Swiss got the second goal, they believed they would get the third goal, and they got that third goal on the 90th minute. So for the French, not really much to change, just getting their shape and structure and some leadership and unity back into it. Because I heard that somebody's mother went to fight other people's parents after the match. That their children are too arrogant. Yes. That I heard. I can't confirm if it's true because I was not there, but somebody said that that's what happened between the parents. But what it is that for me, Kylian Mbappe, I said it before, he was getting into his head. People say he was so talented. Oh, he was the next best thing in football. Oh, he was this, and he just kept. You could tell that he was playing um his game knowing that he was talented. I think this will bring him back down to earth and teach him that yes, talent is not enough. Discipline is needed when you're doing things. And so he will get together. But all together, I congratulate the Swedes. They're not the most talented squad, but they managed the resources they had as usual. They use their football the way they do their banking. And they're through to the next round.
Nice analogy, Becca. Let's move on to Spain now. Spain coach Luis Enrique hailed its players' character as the three times European champions recovered from a nightmare start, then let slip a 2-goal lead before finally beating Croatia 5-3 in extra time to reach the Euro 2020 quarterfinals. It was a very intense game today that really had everything. Everyone saw a true team spirit today, Luis Enrique told the news conference.
Yes, and here's another big. So this is what I was talking about that they had played earlier before the French game. Again, Spain had gone 3-1 up. It looked like it was over. Everybody was packing their bag, carrying their blankets, getting ready to go home and come back and watch the next match. And next thing you know, game is not over. 90th minute equalizer, and we go into extra time. And that's when Morata too hasn't had a good tournament, but he was back in it. He scored a goal. He kept pressing, kept pushing, and that's the thing about Spain. It always seems like they will get a goal. They have the talent, they have the creativity. They lack a lot defensively, but what they lack defensively, they make more than make up for in their midfield and in their striking options, which is again why I wasn't counting them as one of my favorites. Because if you can leak in goals, there will come a game where you face an opponent that will not let you score and you have conceded, and then you're out of the tournament. And so for me, that's why I never count Spain as my favorite because of their defensive problems. However, they were able to outscore their opponents this time and they're through to the next round. So good one for them. I don't know how this will pan out if they face a team like Italy.
Yeah, but that sustenance of strength and energy through the game.
You will sustain strength and energy when Wall of Jericho is built. How do you want to pass? You will sing and stamp your feet, Abby. So sometimes it's that. So for me, I always say the best form of attack is defense. Now, people say, but that's what England is doing and you're complaining. England is not defending. They are just stagnant. It's not that it's not that they are setting up defensively. I've seen teams that set up defensively. England is stagnant. They don't move the ball around. They don't spread their passes. Even if you are defending, even if you're putting 11 men behind the ball, there's a way you play the football that defense will look sweet. Not with England.
Even while it's raining goals for other teams. All right, now, Dutch coach Frank de Boer stepped down on Tuesday after the Netherlands' dismal Euro 2020 last 16 elimination by the Czech Republic. In his words, he said in a statement released by the Dutch Football Federation, "I've decided not to continue as national coach. The target has not been achieved. That is clear. That pressure is only increasing now, and that is not a healthy situation for me, nor for the squad in the run-up to such an important game for Dutch football on its way to World Cup qualification."
Oh, okay. What I can say for Frank de Boer is yes, the pressure is definitely too much for him. The kitchen is too hot for him to handle. I've said it before. He's your friendly uncle. If you leave your children with him, they are going to eat chocolates and pizza, not eat real food, and not sleep when they're supposed to sleep because their friendly uncle is here. What the Dutch team needs is a manager, especially coming.
I think you wanted to curse with Dutch.
No.
The Dutch
no. This is money radio. What the Dutch team needs is a manager. Especially with the team just coming out of crisis.
Yes.
And so and recognizing they have this talent and this is a generation they need to build up. So Frank de Boer for me was not the man, and it showed in this tournament. And again, it shows in him saying, I'm not saying he shouldn't have resigned, but I'm saying it shows in him saying that the pressure is too much.
Yeah.
If you are the manager of a talented team, the pressure will be much. That means if you're coaching club, you collapse now. Because at least for national teams, it's not for 9 months you're playing.
No.
Imagine being a club coach from August to May.
With all the pressure
And
from the board and
you're
the
saying
fans,
you're telling me the pressure is too much. It's okay. We thank you for your job. You've tried. Step aside, let them employ somebody else to take the Dutch to the World Cup.
My goodness. All right, so let's take messages. I feel for him though. Pius from Macbeth says, "Good morning, Smooth FM. I think England will win the Euro, but if Gareth Southgate fails to win the Euro, they should send him to Northgate." Pius. Well, Celeste says, "For England, it's so far so good. I still don't think they will win, but the defense is looking solid, and that's half the job done. However, the tournament will not be complete until that Everton keeper shows how much of a pipe he truly is." Thank you, Celeste. And thanks to everyone who joined this conversation this morning. Please remember that you can always go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Smooth FM Lagos, and watch any part of the conversation you might have missed. Special thanks to Tega Supreme. That's her handle on social media. On Instagram, you can follow her work with the Ladies in Sport at LIS International. Just visit the website, ladiesinsport.com. My name is Valentine Uhu. Join me next for a robust conversation as you share your thoughts on the headline stories for Lagos Talks 981.
The sporting world never loses its action.